Hello again, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Game Pass Grab Back, your weekly podcast for games in the Game Pass collection, bringing through your collective rank skill range. I am the completionist of this episode, Andrew. With me, our actual potato, Keith.
I hate you.
And my literal bro, Taito, Aaron.
Thanks.
Thank you. I thought of that one. That intro took me a while.
I'm sure it did. That was very challenging.
Thank you, Aaron, for joining us. But yes, if you can't guess, this week we played Brotato by Blobfish. Brotato is a auto shooter, just like Vampire Survivors, but you have a big, wide cast of characters that are, I guess, potatoes, even though they all look like eggs. But essentially, you are trying to survive each wave. You have a timer. You are trying to get through the time, kill as many monsters as you can, collect currency, shop, improve your character, and try to get to wave 20 where you can actually complete the run. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting episode because it's like, how much of Brotato can you talk about? I said the same thing about Vampire Survivor. And so thank you, Aaron, for joining us for this episode because this is going to be a challenge. But going around.
Survivor episode 2?
Yeah.
I think so.
Because I remember.
Even though it's not even your style of play.
That's the best part about this is not, I would not say this is my style of game, but maybe it is.
This is Keith's.
This is 100% a Keith style game. But Andrew, I love that you said that in the intro because to me, this is an immediate controversy. When we played Vampire Survivor, like the whole shtick is there's no vampires in that game.
Yep.
Are we positive you're a potato?
I don't know.
Positive you are.
I don't think you are.
I think you're.
They're all very lumpy.
I think you're an egg.
I think you're an egg. So, okay, my main argument as to why I don't think you're a potato, you get an item when you beat the game with well-rounded called potato, and it looks like a potato. Well, actually, it looks like a poop, but it literally is a brown lump with little fruits on it. So that is a potato. And it doesn't look anything like your characters. So I'm with you, Aaron. I think you're an egg.
I think this is similar to Vampire Survivor, that there is, you assume you're looking at a potato, but then you keep looking at it, you're like, that is an egg. It's not a potato. It is 100% an egg. So I'm glad that we could get that controversy out of the way immediately because you are 100% an egg.
Well, so I was immediately going to fight this. But I was looking through more of the characters, and they are all very round. Because I was going to say, maybe they're kind of lumpy. Potatoes are kind of lumpy. They're not.
They're not round. They're egg-shaped.
Yeah, well, right. Well, either roundish. But I'm agreeing with you. Agreeing with you is what I'm getting at.
So I win first argument. Put that on the tally.
Yes,
Thank you.
1 point, Aaron. But I'm thinking, though, they're alien-ish. But are they supposed to represent potatoes? They grow the weird arms and stuff. I don't know. That it's still not a potato.
I don't.
But I
don't know.
You're fighting aliens. You're definitely fighting aliens.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, no, because there's snails.
No, but they're all aliens though. Because there's legitimately there was a tooltip that says that you're fighting aliens. Where is it?
Because I just took it as the big mean guys were slugs. Then you have snails, and then I don't know, little plant mold or rock.
The item lore when you beat the game with the fisherman, it says the added loot aliens will be affected by your percentage. So it specifically says aliens. So you are fighting aliens. So you're an egg fighting aliens, I guess.
And it's called Brotato.
But anyway, it's called Brotato for whatever reason. But yeah, let's get into this. Aaron, this is a gamer pass for you.
This is a game. I really hate that this is just the scale. I'm pretty sure I was I the one that suggested this scale at the very beginning of this podcast?
No.
Okay. Because I would put this somewhere in the middle. I wouldn't call this a game or a pass, but I guess I have to call it something, so I would call it a game because I did enjoy it. And I was hooked on this game, I would say, for a solid 3 days. In fact, the first night I played it, I went to bed a whole lot later than I usually do because...
Whoa. And if anyone knows you, you love your sleep.
That is a big deal. When it is 10 o'clock, it's sign-off time. It's not nighttime, okay? That's what it is for me. So, but I was hooked because it was one of those games, like Vampire Survivors, like, oh, I can do one more run. Even though the runs, they kind of add up in time. They're probably, 15, 20 minutes.
Every round's about a minute, and you're trying to get to round 20.
Yeah. Is it about a minute?
I think the first 2 waves are like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's.
But yeah, the rest of them are a minute.
It starts pretty short and gets maybe a little bit longer as you go. But yeah, I was hooked. And I would say even now, like I haven't played it now for a few days because it was just such an easy game to pick up. But I don't think I know everything that's happening in that game.
No, I think you do. There's not much to it.
Well, maybe we can break this down a little bit, because now I've got genuine questions. Then I've got questions that I think I need answering, so maybe you can answer them. But I'll wait to get into this. This is a perfect game that's just super simple to play, super simple to just pick up and go for a few runs. Why do I keep getting invited to these types of episodes too? Because this to me is a mobile game, like put onto Xbox.
It is a mobile game.
It should be a mobile game.
Is it actually a mobile game? I actually didn't look
Vampire
this up.
Survivors. I don't know if it started mobile or moved to mobile after kind of like Vampire Survivors, but it is available on mobile.
And by principle, like I am somebody that tends to like oppose games that are clearly just mobile games on consoles. But gosh darn it, it was just too easy to just sit down and waste a few hours playing it. So yes, I would give it a game. I would not call it a definite game, but a game.
Well,
I mean,
go ahead, Keith.
I guess I should just call it a definite game.
Yeah, Keith, why don't you tell everyone what's your playtime at?
It's like 180 hours.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is. Keith seriously has so many hours in this game.
Keith, what is wrong? Like, what is honestly, are you okay?
I mean, it's in some ways, no. That's no way around that. No, but part of it is it's me trying to just complete it, but not to fully jump ahead, but achievements. And I'm just trying to 1,000 the game, and that's really what I've gone to. So pretty much anytime I kind of just in between a break on something else. Now the first week or probably the first month, I would say actually it's probably more like it. I was playing this like a ton. Now it's more of a downtime between it. I'm just trying to finish out my few characters, but yeah, a lot of hours. So in some sense, yes, definitely a definite game, because I mean, yeah, I played the crap out of it, but yeah, there's a weird things. Mostly I'm just angry at it because I haven't 1,000'd it, I think is what it is. I think if I had 1,000'd it by now, I probably would just be definite game, all excited and happy.
This is mind blowing. This is mind blowing to me. Because it's beyond repetitive, and that is the core gameplay loop of this. And like your experience is gonna pretty much be the same just about every time you play it, and you have put in that many hours.
It's a principle thing, but yeah.
Keith, legitimately, you actually do look kind of distraught, Keith. Are you okay? Have you been sleeping?
Mostly.
Mostly. I just don't know how you get there, but you know what? Good on you.
All right. Well, I'm giving this a definite game. This game is a ton of fun. I would recommend just about anyone try this game. It's very simple. I too also find it very addictive. Probably not as much as Keith.
I'd bet if you still hadn't completed it, you'd be playing it still the amount of hours I would.
Maybe. Well, it's because I would want to complete it. But,
same here. That's my point.
But
I've completed this and I've still put in hundreds more, tons more hours. My point is that yes, I'm not as good to complete it.
But you're also at a different level of addiction, because you've even told me where you're like, man, even if I had 1,000 this game, I would actually go back and maybe beat like level 3 with everyone, just so everyone has a matching color. Like, but you would actually go back.
Like on that level, it would be purely a go back and like, I just want to kill 20 minutes. And it's always fun to pick up. That's where the definite game to me is that no matter the repetitive nature of it, every run is different enough, and that I'm just like, all right, it feels like I'm doing something different every time.
So yeah, you're probably not wrong. I would still be playing it. I find this game very fun. It's super simple and easy. I actually would go as far to say, I think I enjoyed this game more than Vampire Survivors. I really liked Vampire Survivors, but I actually think Brotato is better. It's like Vampire Survivors got to a point where it like a lot of stuff goes on the screen and it just kind of gets lost. And the characters don't change. I didn't feel like they changed that much to mix up the gameplay formula. In this, they do. I really like the different characters in this game. It was just, to me, I'm like, ooh, I really want to try this guy. And once you got a character that really sucked to play as, I freaking hated Well-Rounded. It took me forever to beat with that guy. But it's just so fun when you get a character you absolutely love. But yeah, this is a definite game.
Let's talk about the story. Anyways, that was fun. The gameplay is great.
We don't even know if they're potatoes. So, I mean, that's already, I guess we confirmed there's aliens in there, but we don't even know if there's potatoes in this story. So, yeah, there's no.
I mean, there's a potato item, like I said, but
I'm fairly certain if you look at the Brotato website that they would classify them as Brotatoes.
I bet you they won't.
The description I see here, no. Brotato is a top-down arena shooter roguelite where you play a potato wielding up, I guess, a potato wielding up to 6
That's an
at a time
assumption. They're
fight
putting that
hordes.
in as an assumption that is not from the developers.
I think you're right. I think that is an assumption because this is from Time to Beat.
I'm sorry. Why are we going back on this argument? I already won a point.
That's on the Steam community.
I already got
description, which is created by them, is it not?
I already got a point. So
Let's say, Google, are you a potato in Brotato?
I was trying that and I couldn't get a solid
Google
answer.
won't know. The AI doesn't know.
I'm going to
It's very true.
Blobfish's website is what I'm doing. My new game, Brotato.
Yeah, it's Steam says that you're a potato.
You play a potato wielding up to 6 weapons.
But see, that's a generalization because not all of them wield 6 weapons.
This is literally
Some of them wield more than 6 weapons.
Dev website. This is from the creators. It's not a generalization.
Do they have a Twitter?
They do.
Because I feel like we should reach out to them.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree. I'm still on your side, Aaron, because like I said, there's an item that's a potato and it legitimately looks like a potato. But anyway, yeah, the story is you're just a potato shooting aliens.
I kind of like the idea of the remainder of this podcast episode just being arguing about whether they're a potato or egg. I think it would be a good use of the time.
45 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron, just because your podcast is gone doesn't mean you have to try to get rid of ours.
No, I think this is content people want. If anything, I think I'm helping because then they're curious. They will download the game, agree it's an egg, not a potato, and then I win more. I get more points.
See,
sure.
Like I said, Aaron, I'm on your team. I agree. I think they're eggs because even one of the characters, Gollum, has like cracks in him, looking like a cracked egg. But anyway,
like a rock, but that's fine.
I mean, rocks generally don't have cracks in them. But anyway.
Yeah, Keith.
Yeah.
Show me one rock with a crack in it. I dare you.
No, rocks.
Once it has a crack in it, it's 2 rocks. That's what happens. You split the rock, it becomes 2 rocks. It's not now.
Aaron is officially uninvited from future episodes.
Could be a potato wrinkle. There you go. Javier in Discord here agrees with us. But yeah, so the gameplay. We were just going to skip over the story there. So gameplay, as I said, you're picking one of, gosh, how many characters are there? There's like 30
There's
something.
A lot. This is why the 100%
44.
This game is crazy because there's a lot.
There's 44 characters. Each one has their own kind of perks and also some negative aspects to them. So, like case in point, one of my favorite characters, the Masochist. As he keeps taking damage, he also gets more strength. So you want to kind of build him where he can survive by taking damage. But as he's taking damage, he's getting stronger and stronger. You have someone like the farmer who, as he keeps collecting crops, he gets more powerful. And so you kind of want to do a build where you're getting crops. But the whole gameplay of it, and it's like I said, the shtick is, you're trying to survive these waves. There's 20 waves. It first starts off for pretty sure like 30 seconds, 45, then eventually each wave's about a minute. And you're just trying to survive. Enemies are appearing on the screen, and it's an auto shooter. So the game will just kind of shoot the enemies as you have weapons. But you actually can turn that off. You can actually aim yourself if you want. So there is a little more gameplay in this than there is Vampire Survivors. But as you're collecting currencies, materials, that's what they're called. But yeah, you go to a shop between each wave, try to buy some weapons, upgrades, perks, and try to keep surviving.
Which, fun fact about the manual aim, and I was a big fan of it, is you can turn on the manual aim, but it still continues to auto aim. The only time it does manual is if you choose to utilize the right stick at all. So it could actually be pretty helpful if you were in a chase situation, is what I found. You have like this huge mob behind you and you have a good amount of knockback. You just aim behind you and run forward at all times. But then you just go back.
As someone who's actually completed this game, I never turned it on, so it's not necessary.
I didn't say it was necessary. I said it was.
If you want to take a pro tip from someone who's put like 12 days in it and still hasn't beaten it.
That's crazy.
I still can't get over your gameplay time, Keith. But yeah. So I gotta ask you guys, what's your guys' favorite characters?
I mean, it's been a while since I fired it up, but the one I remember, probably because it took me the longest to complete, was the Brawler. Took me quite a while. And you kind of have to get a little bit lucky on some of these rounds. Now, because the comparison is obviously there, Vampire Survivor kind of, I don't think it created a genre of a game, but it probably popularized a genre of a game. And it was a massive hit, and it was a massive hit on Game Pass. And we all agree this game is better than Vampire Survivor. And when you think about it, why it's better, this is, I think, the core reason why. We all have a favorite character of the 40 roster. And in Vampire Survivor, you had ones that you liked, but there were a lot that were very similar. That I could play multiple characters and I would barely notice the difference. This game, everybody's like all 40 characters are vastly different. Yeah. Like they did a very good job of making each one of them feel completely different. Like their pluses and minuses are pretty, like some of them are drastic.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, I think there's probably, like if I'm looking through the list, I would think of maybe like 5 that are quote unquote similar, but even still so different in their aspects. Okay. Well, so I think too, one of the biggest differences that, and this is kind of just like any roguelike, is that so Brotato does you don't level up anything outside of your runs. Like everything takes place within a run. You unlock more the things to add to the pool, but you never actually get a stronger starting character. It's always just changing. And I think that that's pretty important too. And that's why you can do what they do with a vast amount of characters. Whereas Vampire Survivors, where it was all based on adding these skills and percentages outside of the run and pre-run, all the characters really did was mostly just had different weapons that you could unlock. And where I think too, maybe not a frustrating part, but a big difference maker in Vampire Survivors versus Brotato is you were locked into your weapons. You accidentally pick one, you pick one and decide you don't like it anymore. It's there. That's what you run your run with. In Brotato, you are swapping them in and out, and holy crap, I got this awesome legendary one. Let me grab this. Let me get rid of that one. It's just so much more flexible and fun in that way.
Yeah. So yeah, like if you play the arms dealer, you lose your weapons every run.
What's that?
The arms dealer, you lose your weapons every wave. So you constantly have to keep switching.
Well, and that's it. Part of it too is it's not just changing your percentages when you're changing characters. It's changing your absolute gameplay. You have the soldier that can't shoot when he's moving. You have, the arms dealer who you lose all your weapons. You have the entrepreneur who you lose all your money but everything's cheaper. And like, those are just huge gameplay differences. The golem you referenced, he can't heal in any way, shape, or form, but he's got a ton of armor and gets a massive amounts of HP. So it's just like all these weird little trade-offs. And the only thing that sucks to me about this game is, from my completionist perspective, is getting stuck on one character. Outside of getting stuck on one character, even where I'm stuck at, my pacifist, I hate him so much, is if I were to come back to it, after playing a bunch of different characters, it would feel fun and refreshing and I wouldn't mind it. It's just, man, I'm just keep grinding it out over and over again. It makes me want to pull my hair out.
So that's the character you're stuck on as a pacifist?
Yep. I told you, well, I also said the soldier would be my last one, but my most recent claim to my last one was the pacifist. That's when I was, I think, right around 10 left, and it still is. Not get past it.
Have you beat it with the streamer yet?
When I said my last one is the pacifist, I meant that the pacifist is my last one.
When you said last one, I thought you meant the last one when you talked to me, like last time you talked to me.
No,
That's where I got confused there, Keith.
I had
Before you get
claimed
all
it was,
sassy.
and it is officially my last one.
Yeah. Now, this is, I think I mentioned it to Keith when I was playing this. I think one of my issues with this game, and really with all of these games, is there's a lot of just luck involved in it. Not only is that like a stat, but I mean, sometimes like you have a character that clearly, like, their path is, I'm gonna need these items. If I don't get these items, if these items never present themselves to me, I can never win. Like, I have no chance of actually getting beyond that. And that would be frustrating to me, because sometimes I'd be like 6 rounds in and I'm like, I clearly need like these 2 things, and these things are just never showing up. And at some point, this is going to ramp up and I'm going to be too far behind. And now I'm just wasting my time because I didn't get these things early enough. Now I'm kind of screwed.
I actually disagree with you.
There's a yes and a no to that, because the game, I don't know how I can prove it other than just 150 plus hours.
Okay, then why haven't you completed the pacifist yet?
because I mean, honestly, it's my own fault. My closest times I've come to beating it, I can usually attribute to, like, I swapped out this weapon when I really shouldn't have. I did this thing that took away these stats. All of a sudden, I started picking up one that started doing damage to me every second. Like, I can almost always attribute it to something I've done, and I've caused it myself.
I think
now
that's the case sometimes, because obviously you can still make mistakes in these runs. Like, obviously,
yes,
you can be, and some of the items you're getting are gambles, right? Like, sometimes I'm going to start the next round with 1 life, and, so there's obviously things that happen there.
Yeah,
but
and regardless, is if you want to throw my hours at me without completing it, Andrew's going to agree with me on this point, who has completed it, so we want to talk about him, is the game does guide some of your RNG. It's still RNG focused, but it does tend to focus it. There's a lot of, and there's also just a lot of weird things it does not tell you. I was digging around on the Reddit page today for it, and just a weird fact I learned is that in the first 2 waves, like the shop modes, you're guaranteed to get 2 weapons every single roll. So you can use that to stack up your weapons at the very beginning, because numbers in your weapons are better than upgrades. And it tends to focus on the weapons you're using. So it really, there's so many little things going on that it doesn't tell you about.
So when you and I kind of argued this point earlier, so I don't know, this is like a month ago, we were playing Overwatch or something. I mentioned playing Brotato, and you mentioned this to me. You said, well, the game will seem to feed you things that you're already building, which I agree. So, like, if you're building explosive, it might throw you some more things that are kind of explosive focused. But that's my whole point, though. It's only if you find those things kind of early on. Once you're kind of getting around 6, if you have not found the things that you've needed at that point, it's now going to start feeding you things to what you're currently building. And if that's not right, you're toast. Like, you're now stuck going through the rest of this round, and you're never going to get the things that you need unless you get really, really lucky. And obviously, again, luck is an actual thing in this that can affect it. But if that's not what you can build, if you're using a character that's low on luck or something like that, then you're kind of stuck and just hoping that, man, I hope that in these first few rounds, I can get a few of these things I know I need for this character. Like, it's the only way that I'm going to be able to get through it on this thing. That, to me, is an element of the game that I find frustrating.
So as Aaron's saying, there's actually a bunch of stats in this game. Like, you do have some primary stats, there's luck, harvest, damage, armor, dodge. There's a bunch of secondary stuff like explosion sides, experience gain, how far you can pick things up. There's a whole bunch of stats you're getting. So when we're talking about these items that you're grabbing, they always have usually a pro and a con. So to be like, oh yeah, this will give you 5 armor, but you lose like 5% dodge, or vice versa. This will give you extra dodge, but you'll have less armor. And some of the stats, if you go negative, will actually obviously have a negative impact. If you have negative armor, you take additional damage. So there are these different stats that you're kind of playing. But I am with Keith that if you're playing the character who is all based around luck, if you're collecting luck items, the game tends to throw you more luck items. But and that's the thing too, like, I do feel like there is a handful of times I played this game and I was like, this run's done. Like, I'm not getting anything. Like you said, Aaron, by like wave 6, I was kind of like, yeah, this is going to be a loss. But I felt like most of the time I could do just fine by just having skill and dodging. So that's the other thing too. When you're collecting these materials during your run, it's also experience points and you character levels up. When you character levels up, it gives you a choice of 4 different stats. Do you want to increase permanently your dodge, increase your range damage, melee damage, armor, health, and elemental damage, and I think something else. But yeah, you pick these stats, and obviously if you have higher luck, there's a higher chance you'll get a like rarity stat. So gray is generic, then it's blue, purple, then red. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For like the rarity. And so, you know, if you have good luck, you could have higher like legendary stats and items. But no, yeah, Aaron, I feel like the game, to me, I generally don't like roguelikes that I feel like I'm just a slave to the RNG. And I didn't actually feel like this was the case. I did feel like this game actually required a good amount of skill of dodging and knowing how to build your character. So the character Keith stuck on the pacifist, I did it first try. I did the pacifist. No, I think it took me 2 tries. But it did not take me long. I pulled up Keith's actual legitimate playtime, which is 7 days and 15 hours.
But here's the thing, though, right?
To do the math for you,
Keith. Do you think Andrew genuinely understands the pacifist better than you, and that's why he did it in 2 runs, or do you think he maybe got a little bit lucky and got the right items in the right place to do it?
No on both counts. What I think Andrew is better at than I am is the dodging and diving, and the pacifist is a perfect example of it. The pacifist starts with negative 100% damage. So there are characters in this game where you can steamroll growing your damage percentage, but it takes, like, even with characters that are built for it, it actually takes quite a few rounds. Like you're talking like 10, 12 rounds before you really start to get it moving. That 100% is hard to come back from. So what you're talking about is really you have to rely on moving away from characters. And this is something that it's not a Brotato thing. It is a all gaming thing. I have the worst Twitch reactions. So what happens
this is factually true, by the way. I can confirm over many years of knowing you.
It is. So it is times where there's 6 bullets coming at me and I'm like, oh crap. If I keep moving, I think I can make it. No, last second, I think I'm going to switch the other way. And I just run into the one I was trying to avoid in the first place. I don't even run into another one. I run into the one I probably could have avoided had I done nothing other than just continue moving on the path that I was doing. But I get frantic, I frazzle, and I make stupid mistakes. And the pacifist is, I don't want to say unforgiving, because I really do think he's pretty easy if you build it right or even just do it right. But it pains me to say, but it's a pure example of where Andrew's skill is very much different than mine.
Keith, do you know everyone's experienced this when you're walking on like the sidewalk and someone's walking directly at you and you go right, they go right, you go left. How often does that happen to you? Do you just like bump into everyone on the street?
No, not that bad. I mean,
okay.
It happens probably more frequently because I have a tendency to want to like give people the right of way, but I'm also pretty good about it because I am the primary grocery shopper in my house. So I have a pretty good sense of walking at people in aisles and things like that in confined spaces. So in real life, I'm actually pretty good at it. Just video games, not so much.
Can I add something? Again, I want to go back to that overall theme of why this game is actually better than Vampire Survivor. This is one of those things. The primary stat focus.
Yeah.
Like when you're playing Vampire Survivor, those are kind of vague numbers that kind of sit off in the background. It is very front and center. At the end of each round, you see your primary stats and you're looking at, what do I want to build? How do I want to build it? This is another reason why I think this game is better than Vampire Survivor and why it becomes more addicting, because you have such a real-time look as you're building that just makes it kind of fun to deal with.
100%.
And so that's just, I would say is element number 2 as to why this game actually is more fun to play. Even though I do think that luck is still, because I did want to kind of come at you guys a little bit on this one and call a little bit of baloney, because Andrew's like, oh, I'm dodging and weaving out there. There's like a round, it's like round 9 or something like that, where it just floods you. And at that point, if you do not have, I don't care how you build your character, if you do not have the right weapons at that point, there's just so much that you literally
I will agree with you with that,
cannot
Aaron.
keep up with it. And that's where I say, again, the luck factor on, gosh, I'm getting a lot of slingshots out here. Yeah, the slingshots are not going to get you through that round.
I like the slingshot.
The slingshot's fine. The slingshot's fine. But if you've got
slingshot's great, actually.
If you get the 4 slingshots, you're not surviving that round, because that round.
Why do you not have 6 weapons by round 9?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Good point.
You can.
That's not random. That's an easy thing to do. That's what I was literally telling you, is that the first 2 rounds, you can make sure that you have 6 weapons by the first 2 rounds.
But if those
easily.
are all level 1 weapons, or even level 2 weapons, you're still going to struggle through that round.
This is
3 damage is better than 0 damage.
You started this at
disagreeing.
We're becoming what people hate about video game podcasts. 3 angry white guys yelling about video games. But
really dumb game at that. Like, it's not even a challenging, like, it's just kind of a fun game to play. But
you started this episode and you're like, I have questions, because there's a lot of things I don't understand about this game.
I haven't gotten to my questions yet.
Well, so clearly one of the things that you don't understand is the numbers over levels game, is the fact that 1 blue weapon, heck, even 1 red, unless it is a legendary weapon of some sort, 1 red weapon is not half as good as 4 level 1 weapons, because of the way the numbers roll in this. And especially, like, if you have just 1 weapon, you're very most likely, unless you're using the one-hand character, you have your late game or early game. Like, I just don't know. You have to have numbers of weapons. And outside of the pacifist, who has such a sharp drop off of damage, there is not a single character at level 9 that I struggle with if I have my 6 weapons. Because it feeds you a massive horde of the easiest enemies. There's a handful of the stronger ones, but it is massive hordes of the ones that die or should be dying in 1 hit, unless you have completely mismanaged your build. And I'm talking, you have to go off the rails bad.
Okay. Well, let's then say this. If I'm a character that is the brawler, so I have to be using kind of melee weapons. If it's fed me a lot of guns.
Well, that's stupid, because you wouldn't get that, because the brawler doesn't get ranged weapons.
He does.
I like Aaron argue with Keith here. He was 7 days in this game.
Hey, he absolutely gets fed ranged weapons.
Let me.
There are absolutely.
I have the character list pulled up. I'm looking at it.
What do you mean he doesn't get them? I wouldn't use them. That's the point.
Oh, I take it back. He just starts with -50 range damage. So you are right. He does. He can take.
Ooh.
It would make no
Aaron
sense.
got it.
Yeah,
but all you have to do, though.
My point is that luck still ends up being a factor. It's not. I think you can work your way out of those problems. I totally agree with you guys that you can 100% work your way out of those things, but sometimes you're just getting bad rolls, and I'm getting a whole lot of white weapons right now, and it's like, okay, I can load on a bunch of these things. It's not going to work. It doesn't work for my build. And then what the game does is then starts feeding me those things more. And I'm like, that's not my build. I'm just doing that to try and survive round 9, because I got to have these weapons here. And then it's like, well, clearly you want these things, so here's more of these things, and here's things to help those. And I'm like, no, do not give those to me. I want to get rid of them as quickly as I can. Give me things to get out of this. And it's all on luck that you guys claim doesn't exist.
But that's where you're missing my point, is that in those first 2 rounds, I'm going back to it, and this is something that I learned, but if in those first 2 rounds, and where it actively will give you weapons that are either closely related or matching what you have, like, perfect example, I paused a pacifist run that I was on. The stick is not his normal starting weapon, but I got the stick on my first roll. I picked it up. I rolled again. It gave me another stick. I grabbed it. I rolled again. I grabbed another stick because I kept getting 2 weapons and it kept giving me ones that matched what I was building. So I was very quickly able to. So your brawler example, it starts you pick one weapon, which is all fist weapons, and it starts you with a bonus fist. So you start with immediately 2 weapons that are fist related. You grab 2 more at the first wave and you're almost guaranteed you're going to be in all set range. You're not going to get fed a bunch of them. You might not get all the melee damage you want, but you're going to be fine on weapons.
I love how clinical Keith is with this right now.
Let me break down the numbers for you. Joe,
I have gone through the Reddit channels of Brotato.
I have.
Which is crazy. I didn't know. I mean, obviously, there should be a Reddit for this, but that's wild. That
Today is the first day I pulled it up for the record, but yes.
He's probably a moderator.
Yeah.
It's
the only man that has played 7 days of Brotato.
Well, so I'm gonna make fun of myself at the same time that I say this. There was a post. Someone had danger 5 for every single character,
which is the highest difficulty for
what?
Listeners. Danger 5 is the highest difficulty for our listeners.
Now, were their hours the same as mine? Yes. But
man, that's such a kick in the teeth, man. You see that, like, dang it.
I do genuinely think if I had gone just playing Danger 5, there's probably plenty of characters I could have done it on Danger 5 with, but I stuck with a good medium Danger 2 as an in-between.
I think I've done Danger 5 on like 3 characters. Obviously, I did it for 1 to get the achievement, but then I was just like, this character's really easy. I'm going to try Danger 5. And yes, I did for a couple of them.
Yeah, the other night you were doing that. You weren't even completed it. You would beat the fisherman. You're like, I'm just going to do Danger level 5 for the fisherman for no good reason.
And here you are screaming about the pacifist. How do I beat this? And I'm just screwing around.
I think I was still yelling about another character at that point.
I think so. Man. See, I think it's so funny because the character I hated, as I said, was well-rounded. He's so boring. He literally is just like, gets like a little extra damage for range, a little extra damage for this. Like, he's just little stats, but he's just not interesting. And I hated that character so much. It took me so many tries with him. But yeah, the passive is, like I said, I did no issues. The other one I hated that took me a while was the streamer. But I recommend doing the streamer because he gets such a good item when you beat the game. That's why I was asking you, Keith, because his item, the more enemies that are on screen, the more your attack speed increases. So his item is perfect for the pacifist because the pacifist is all about having enemies on the screen.
Now, so that's where the RNG comes into play the most.
Yeah.
Is those items, the legendary items that you're getting. I think if I read somewhere, it's like level 9 is the earliest you can start to get legendaries. Maybe it might just be weapon levels, but all that said is that if you don't get some of those things, those are the real game makers. It gets the little white items and blue items along the way are going to be helpful, but the game makers and breakers are the red items. It's not even always the weapons. I've had runs where I've completed it with 2 or 3 blue weapons and I'm fine, but as long as you have the stats to back it up, just about anything can be an absolute just steamroll.
Yeah. Man. All right.
I will. All right. What do you think is like the best runs that I ever have are anything that I can load up on turrets on, which again is like brand if I'm going to get them or not, especially that healing turret. If I can get a healing turret, it's game over. I
love the turrets.
I can win if I get the healing turret. And that's again where I kind of say like, well, it's luck if I'm going to get these things because I just got to hope that I roll these turrets and I hope that I can get a bunch of them, or the one where you kill the trees and you get the turrets automatically.
Yeah, the Pocket Factory, that's such a good item.
That one is the absolute best. When I get that, it's like, all right, cool. I'm going to go
that one. I will grab that. Does not matter what character I'm playing as.
Yeah.
Because there's no real negative to it. It's only a positive.
Yeah.
But for me, where I do best, because again, the dodging and weaving is my weakness in this game. I tend to do best when I have characters that don't get surrounded. So range tends to be my best friend. I like to do, like I had one run. I know, Andrew, you don't do endless. I do a little bit, and I think I got to wave 40. And I think it was actually with the entrepreneur because I finally just got enough weapons of everything I had. I think 2 nuclear launchers at level 4. And it was just, I didn't see enemies. It was just explosions dead, explosions dead, explosions dead. And it was awesome. It was a ton of fun, quite frankly.
One of the stupidest items that I always buy, and it's bit me in the butt so many times, is the spooky ghost or the silly ghost.
Yeah.
Weird ghost.
Next run you start at 1 HP, and all the item gives you is 3 max HP. But so many times I'll start the next run because I'm like, I'm wave 4. I was like, I'll probably be good. And instantly spawn. I'm like, all right, I have 1 health, and then boom, I get shot, and it's just like, oh, there you go, so I end my run.
Now, I think you told me that you hadn't died by it, but have you died by it, Aaron? Because I have quite a few. I'm just going to hand.
I only did like 2 or 3 times.
A whole bunch of times. Is you get that weird ghost, but you have an item that also does
damages
damage
you
per second. So you
like a bloody harvest.
And immediately die.
I've done that once. I've done that once and realized what I did, because sometimes it's like a second nature. You just kind of click on the things you like, and sometimes you're clicking on 2 that like, oh, that's actually a bad combo. That was gonna hurt.
Yeah, there's one time I killed myself like 2 or 3 times, Keith. I'm not completely impervious, but yet there was one time I did it where I'm like, I have really good health regen. Maybe my health regen will kick in faster than the damage will kick in. Spoiler alert, it did not. It does not. As soon as you start that run, you take a 1 damage and instantly die. So yeah, be careful with that ghost.
Yeah, I think though probably my most fun run though was the golem. Because he does the explosive. Is it the golem who does the
bull
damage?
That's the bull.
The bull.
Anytime he gets hit, he explodes.
Yeah, he was probably one of the most funs I did. Because you have no weapons and it's just all running into things.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
I haven't tried that one. That actually sounds super fun.
And it's just one of those things that I think that it's such a cool switch up of the gameplay, because the whole aspect of this game is the weapon play. It's about the 50 or 40 plus weapons. I don't know how many there are. There's tons and tons of weapons, how you can combo them, play them. Because one of the things we didn't even talk about, which is just, it's just another very silent like attribute in the game, is stacking your weapon types. So every weapon is broken down into different types: gun, elemental, primitive, and
heavy, blade, medical.
2 of them. And as you get them, they add all these bonus stats to you. So like, that's just, it's not a huge factor, but it is a factor because it's part of how you're building what weapons you want for your character. And I lost my train of thought, and I got myself on that, and then I forgot where I started on it.
Yeah, one of my pro tips that I learned, it took me some time. Whenever I started, like I said, every time you level up, you get to pick primary stat. I almost always, for the starting off, I was like, ooh, dodge is king. Honestly, no, damage is king. Like if you are doing melee or range, pick range or melee damage. If you cannot kill things, it doesn't matter how much dodge you have, you are going to lose. You need to be able to kill things. So that's also why I kind of argue with like the RNG with you, Aaron. It's like, if I know I'm building range or melee or anything, if you could just keep getting damage, armor and dodge are irrelevant. You just need to be able to kill things.
Yeah. That's where the RNG kills me the most, is those rolls. Is I think that at the beginning, it fights you on those, on really giving you the rolls that you want for some of those early stat bonuses. But outside of that, yeah, largely you usually have enough, money or whatever to keep rolling till you get what you want.
Since Keith kind of agreed with me, do I get 2 points?
No.
All right. I'll check back.
I like your hustle though.
I'm looking to win the podcast.
What was your other questions you had about this game, Aaron?
If I get into these questions, it's going to get way too into the weeds, because this is just going to be me asking questions about a video game. But does that kind of defeat the purpose of this episode? Or did we already get too far into the weeds anyway? So let's just keep it rolling.
Well, I mean, I think we can cover music and sound. It exists, but honestly, the music sucks after 100 plus hours. I turned it off.
It was never, the music was never offensive. I didn't find it offensive,
but it's really just, it's a lot, and you can do without it. And you can listen to a podcast or music is a better option. The sound effects are fine. They're not offensive at all, but they don't really add anything of value to the gameplay. The graphics are really fine. It's a top-down shooter, but the designs are really fun. So anyway, like back to gameplay.
Javier says we're past the weeds. We're in potato country.
Yeah, we are. Well,
But yeah,
all right, so fine. I question that I need to learn that I might just have to go to the Reddit to figure out. So one of my issues is the stats. So the stats are obviously a huge part of this game. We've talked about that a lot at this point. What is engineering? What the heck does engineering do?
Effectively, it's just damage for your turrets or explosives
or land
not
mines.
explosives, but like your mines.
That's
So
what I
if you
figured.
if you ever go to an item, so let's case in point, like if you go to the turrets, like if you go buy the turret, in parentheses, it'll say 50% of your wrench, which the wrench is the engineering stat point. So like things will specifically say, like it tells you the scaling of it.
Okay.
So like the flamethrower only says it does 1% of your elemental damage. So it shows you the scaling that the weapon will do depending on that particular stat. So, which is very important to see, because I told Keith this, it took him for a long time to figure out the shuriken is a ranged weapon, but it's actually classified as melee. It scales off of your melee damage, not your range damage. So that's why it's very important to put your cursor over an item and see what scales with it.
Gotcha. Okay, because
Yeah. So if you're doing the brawler who does melee, you can get the shuriken.
okay.
Yeah, and you start to get some of them that are actually like dependent. They'll actually get more damage on your range, on your speed, like all kinds of different factors. So yeah, the tooltips are largely very important.
Yeah, like the jousting lance. It scales off of both your melee damage and your speed.
And so the more speed you have, the
Yep.
more damage it's going to do. Okay.
Yep, and that's also why it's important to level up your weapons. As I agree with Keith, it's not as important having a level 1 weapon. Like having 2 level 1 weapons is better than having 1 level 2 weapon. But every time a weapon levels up, the scaling improves. So case in point, the knife, it only does 80%, a level 1 only does 80% of your melee damage. Oh wait, no, the knife actually doesn't level scaling up at all. But the plank does. It starts at 50%, then 55% of your melee, then 60% of your melee, then 65% of your melee. So that's why leveling up a weapon can be really helpful as well.
Okay.
And well, into that kind of piggybacking on that is where you don't underestimate like, oh, it's the slingshot. Oh, it's the stick. Because the stick, for every other stick you have, it gets like they each individually get a stacking bonus. So if you have 6 sticks at level 1, they all get +4 for every stick you have. So they get 24 bonus base damage each. Or what's 6 times 5? Or 4 times 5, 20. They get 20 each. But then as you go to a level 2, then it's like +6 per stick. Then it's +8 per stick. And so if you have a full 6 stack of level 4 sticks, they're all doing like 90 plus damage. Because at that point, you've got tons of melee damage, your damage percentage. And that's where even like balancing those stats come into play too. Like Andrew was saying, you want to stack your melee and range, but it takes a good run. But say you have like 50 melee damage, now percentages start to play a much bigger factor. If you're talking about 10% rather than adding 2 melee damage, you're adding 10% of 50 damage, so you're getting 5 more.
So you're
like
saying that it might
it's a numbers game.
He's so
it might
clinical.
make sense to not combine some of your weapons.
Yeah.
Sometimes, at least early
I
on.
always do. I always
And even and actually probably more so later on. Like if you're like, oh, I have 4 blue weapons, I'm going to combine them and get a level 4 weapon. You're worse off doing that because you're going to take away so much more damage. And in some cases, percentages of other stats too.
Yeah.
And this is where like I know you guys are laughing at me a little bit because I'm getting a little bit nerdy, but this is one of the things I think is so cool about Brotato is there's like it's a numbers game and there's so many little factors of like trying to balance these things. I just get really into it. It's fun.
I'm waiting for Keith to share an Excel sheet with us.
I mean, what's
okay, guys, I broke it down.
But someone probably could. There's probably a scale of like here's where you need to start doing this versus that, and I'm sure somebody has.
What's funny to me is just that like you guys have played like genuinely like masterpiece games for this podcast before, and yet in Keith's eyes, like this is the masterpiece. Like the masterpiece is Brotato all along. It's not Mass Effect. It's Brotato.
Oh, Keith does not like Mass Effect.
I know. Like it's
just so crazy.
That's kind of the funny thing about this is that this game hits him in a way that like normal games hit most people.
It just triggers the endorphins in my
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah, it does something for you.
I can just imagine like Keith being like an E3 and a game like this gets revealed and it's dead silent. You just hear Keith being like, "Yeah, Brotato 2."
I'm hoping for some new content here, because that's one thing Vampire Survivors has done vastly better than Brotato has, is the content additions. Now the content is a lot of the same of this, or of what it was. Give me a whole wave of 10 new Brotato characters, 20 new weapons. Oh, girl.
$20 DLC. Keith's like, yes.
$10. And
Oh, you would actually have a limit.
I'm in for another 70 hours at least.
Listen, we got to find these guys' Twitter or X. We
It's
gotta find their
literally
X.
not very hard.
No, I
just
think it's going to be really
search.
difficult. So we really got to Google this one and really get into it. I'm sure it's on the Reddit or something. And then
We'll have to
that
hire a
way,
sleuth.
You can reach out to them and see what's coming. Like there
What-
might be a sequel here.
I mean, I was on their dev site and I didn't see anything about a roadmap. So
Why were you on their dev site? What are you doing there?
because I was trying to figure out if they mentioned anything about potatoes, and that's how
we
I
already
confirmed they were
determined it. They're
potatoes.
eggs. We've already
No,
done
they're,
that.
they're potatoes from the developers themselves.
I mean, I've already got a point for that though, so you can't take the point back. So let's just be clear here. That's my point.
What country are they from? What weird potatoes they have there? But yeah,
I don't know.
do we wrap this up now? Get into achievements?
Yeah, Keith, I want you to list how many achievements do you have left?
One.
That,
Beat it.
Okay, because you get one for every.
The pacifist. Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I recommend this game for achievement hunters. If you are not Keith, a normal time to beat the game. I think I beat the game literally first try. No, it was like second try because I didn't like well-rounded. But it's very easy to just beat your first run. But overall for completion, you're looking at like 53 hours. I am at a day in 12 hours, which that was satisfying to text Keith going, I just 1,000 Brotato. And Keith
Why you
was
gotta
not very
poor
happy.
man when he's down. Like, geez, he's doing his best.
I mean, because I knew he was going to find out, because I know he was grinding this game, and he was like, "Oh, I just want to beat this. I want to get this done. I want to get this done." And then I was at work, and I was like, "Nope, I beat the game."
Like,
But,
at what point is he not grinding this game and it's just abusing him? Like, you're there, right?
Oh, it's abusing.
That was
The developers here reach out to him.
At the 90-hour mark, you're just punishing yourself.
Because that's what's funny about this game too. Like a lot of games, Keith will say he has a lot of playtime because the quick resume, the game is still kind of in the background. There is no quick resume with Brotato. The game shuts down
No,
when
he
you turn your
legitimately
Xbox off.
earned every single hour.
He has legitimately earned.
I would venture to bet there's 10 to 15 hours where I've probably left it on pause and walked away. But that doesn't
Okay.
accept the 180 hours.
But this game is a fantastic cloud game. My only gripe, I don't know how this game still does not have touch controls. You need to have a controller to play this game on xCloud, and it makes no sense. You literally just need a joystick and a button. That's it. That's the only buttons you are pressing in this game. And so it boggles my mind that this game doesn't touch controls. But unlike other run-based games, this game saves mid-run, which is so good. So if you are,
I didn't even,
yeah,
I didn't
it's-
test it, but
I did, and it's so good. Yeah, so if you complete a wave, you can turn the game off, and it starts right where you're at. So good. It irritates me when roguelikes don't do that. yeah.
I never tested it. I'm sure Keith has tested that.
He
Saved
has.
him many a times.
But yeah, highly recommend this game for xCloud. But yeah, I guess let's get to our final thoughts here. Who wants to go first?
Do we even have to say final thoughts? Keith loves it. Game of the year.
I mean, I think Vampire Survivors was my game of the year
Was
when
it?
that came out. If not, it was very much on the runner up list for it. If I didn't actually crown it that, then I was very close. Yeah, I don't know. Brotato does the things I want it to do, and it's quick to pick up. Every time it's at least different enough that it feels like I'm doing something even a little different, even though it's always the same. I hate my life a little bit with it now, but hot dang, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. And like one of my wife's running jokes about any video game I play is she's like, how many buttons are there? And if there's more than one, she's out. And so while I haven't actually put a controller in her hands and had her play this, I genuinely think she would. So if we're talking about accessibility, there's there's very few games that are about as accessible as this one is.
Isn't that your rule with video games? How many buttons?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say that. There was many hours I put into like Clicker Heroes, and that involved a lot of active playing.
God.
But all that to
Multiple
say,
buttons,
no. Well,
That's pretty much just
yeah,
one
basically the same ones, just the left stick and the A button. Sometimes
we
you
need to
have
come up.
the right bumpers to move tabs and things, but
Keith used to come up with like a list of like the crappy games that nobody likes that he absolutely loves. Clicker Hero. What was that? Dungeons and Dragons Auto one you were playing for a while.
I can't remember what the name of
Oh,
that one
like Forgotten Realms or something like that.
No,
DPS Idol.
I think you might have. You got to be close to me or maybe past me at this point, because I maybe put about 10 minutes a week into it the last month and a half, and I see you still at least 30 minutes or so here and there.
No, I haven't played DPS Idol in like a week and a half or 2 weeks now. It's been some time.
Yeah, I finally got Brotato was really the one that broke me away from
It
that.
saved me.
It's sad to say, but
I
it
love
saved
you,
me from
Brotato.
a lesser fate.
You got me off
I still haven't
DPS
given it a
Idol.
score though. These episodes are nonsense.
I know.
87. No, 86, because perfect. I was born in 86. Perfect number.
I mean, I'm not going to go into too much of an overview at the end. You obviously heard this episode. There's not much to this game, but it is so basic and fun. Like I said, I would say better than Vampire Survivors. Each character just plays so drastically different that it was just, I loved unlocking new people. Great for achievement hunters. I'm giving it an 80.
Oh yeah, we didn't really talk about that.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Didn't I?
Well,
You did.
you mocked me, but
You did.
it's largely pretty easy.
Okay. So you went 80, Keith went 86. I think this game is good. It's a fun game. I gave it a game. I wouldn't give it a definite game since you guys both gave it a definite game and gave it that high of a score. I got to go lower than that. So I'm going to go 77 for
Well, you're the closest to Metacritic. For Metascore, it has a 76.
right. I am
User
the
reviews
Metacritic.
is an 8.2.
Yeah,
But it's funny. It has like no negative reviews. Literally for users, it has one negative review. For critics, it has 0 negative
All right,
reviews.
all right.
So that's the thing. Nobody hates this game.
Yeah, but like I get you got to be thinking of these, like I just mentioned about Keith. You got to be thinking about scales, right? Like there are genuine games that developers spent like 9 years developing and they got like 90s. You can't give this game a 90, even if you don't have any negatives to give it. You can't do that. Like no matter how good or how much you like this game is not,
It would just,
changing
yeah,
video
'cause I mean,
games.
it's no Baldur's Gate.
Well, maybe for Keith,
You know-
it might, but for most people, that is
They
true.
had-
This
they
is no
had-
Baldur's Gate.
They had a baby version of Brotato called Lost Potato.
I was going to say, Baby Brotato.
Yeah.
No, it's the same. It's
Keith just,
sound roguelike.
ooh, Keith just
Yeah,
opened
Keith-
up
Keith is like,
a new door.
It's
You
on
stole my
Steam,
heart.
and it's only $1.49 because they also have a third game called Space Gladiators: Escaping Tartarus. It's a
Keith's
rogue-
face. It's like,
I literally
ooh,
keep salivating right now. I
This
literally-
Christmas came early.
This is Brotato, but as a 2D platformer.
Okay, maybe we'll do that for a Patreon episode, Keith.
There you go.
We'll look into that.
Oh boy.
All right. But let's wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to our Patreon members, Javier, Kelly, and thank you so much to Thomas, Germany, for the wonderful donation. If you would like to reach out to us, check out all our other links, join us on our Discord, go to our link tree or GamePassGrabBag.com, which will bring you to our link tree. You can see all our stuff. But yes, Aaron, where can people find you? Thank you again for joining us.
I don't know. You can find me on X, Twitter X, whatever it's called. But that's about it because I don't really have a podcast anymore. So I'm podcastless. Rest
So
in
if
peace.
anybody's looking to adopt a former podcaster, looking for a home, Aaron, what do you like to talk about? What do you want to talk to people about?
I mean, we had been doing a movie style podcast called Screen Test, and we had done that, 9 years before
Keith,
it just ended in the dark.
You just ruined Keith's dream. Keith's dream was always just to be on another person's podcast. And he always wanted to be
yeah.
on your podcast. And now it's gone. And now Keith can never get that.
All I
in
wanted-
fairness is it was different, right? It was just different.
All I wanted
really doing.
was talk about Nicolas Cage just one
Yeah,
time, and
yeah.
you took that dream from me.
Well, I didn't take the dream from you. We did the dream. We did the dream in front of you. So
Is it
maybe
really
that's
9 years though? Because I
It
know
was
you
a-
started before us, but
at one point we were at 7 years. We started right when the first It film came out. So I don't know why that movie, because we did like 9 episodes about it, because I just think we didn't know what we were doing at that point. But so I don't know. I don't know how many years ago that was.
it was a long time ago. It was when
Yeah.
I was commuting because I used to listen to it. And I had no idea what you guys were talking about because I didn't watch any of the movies. But I was like, I'll just listen because I appreciated it. So
Wow. Thanks for the
I'll put a
memories.
bro out.
Dad.
thanks for the memories, Aaron. I appreciated it. You filled the void of a lot of long, boring commutes for me. So
Glad I could be.
you can't take that away. You that's an extra point for you on the podcast. I think
Oh.
you've officially won because I have gotten no points at this
I
point
won
in
the podcast. Man, now this
did.
is my dream. That was my dream, was to beat this podcast, and I did today. Thank you.
What's your final score now? Like 6?
I mean, I
Did we get a
lost
bonus
count
point?
at I lost count around 7 because I'm pretty sure that's where I was at. But
I only had you.
don't
I only
rewind
had
to
you at
figure that
maybe
out.
3, but Andrew, and I had never gotten any points. We don't get points on this podcast. You just do it.
Yeah,
We do it for the pleasure. I've been Keith, and I'm going to try and beat the pacifist someday.
All right, everyone.
Hours more.
All right, everyone. We love you all. We'll see you again next week.
Bye.